Good day. I am H. Robert Silverstein, MD, for the Preventive Medicine Center in West Hartford Cable Access TV. If you have any questions about this program, please call me at 549-3444. I wanted to talk to you today about the papers that I carry with me. Now, these are to the show. These are the papers that I'm going to talk about standard medications. This is the nutritional, etc. file. Here is the exercise file. And the last thing is the plug for my book, Maximum Healing, for everything you want to know about being well and or getting better from not being sick. So I want to talk about exercise as a starting point today. And the reason is I want to give you a sense of perspective of where we are in time and place. We're now in the post-holiday period, Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's, and everybody ate up a storm. That's actually not quite true. I had a fair number of people who actually lost weight from the last time when I saw them, say in October or November, to today's weigh-in or this week's weigh-in and so on. So not everybody actually gained weight, although a large number of patients did gain weight, and to my amazement, some people who had been in what I would consider perfect shape actually put on some percent body fat, and these are people who exercise a lot. It happens with the aging process unless you're terribly careful. So how do you deal with that? First of all, you deal with it with a combination of things. You deal with it primarily with diet and exercise. And even before I get to that, I want to talk about the fact that adequate rest is essential. There are several studies, those who are in medicine knew it. If you take care of the patients who work third shift, they are heavier as a group. And it turns out disturbed sleep correlates with increasing weight. Somebody finally did a study and proved that as a fact. But those of us who took care of patients already knew that. So you have to get adequate rest, you have to have low enough calorie foods, and you have to have adequate exercise. Now, what is adequate exercise? The general rule that I've found for people who are in really good shape is an hour a day, period. Not an hour a day, 5 days a week, an hour a day, 7 days a week. And what happens if they work 6 days a week? Well, that's almost as good as you might imagine. That's 83% of 100%. So 6 days a week, an hour a day. And the reason I say 6 is because the really dedicated will get their hour in every day. It's still quite a dedication to get in an hour a day, 6 days a week. But 6 days a week is being a little bit more relaxed about it, so that in case one day you don't feel like exercising, you don't exercise, or in case you're going to take a trip or whatever. So 6 days a week, an hour a day. And that should be divided between as many different activities as you can, but just getting on the treadmill is certainly a good idea, which, by the way, that's the one exercise machine that people are known to stick with the most, not that Chuck Norris gadget, but I have nothing against that. Whatever you will do is fine with me. You want to use an aerobic rider, you want to use an elliptical, you want to use cross-training, you want to use Bowflex, all of that is fine. I actually forgot a brochure today from a patient, he's not a patient, he came to my office and he has a place down on Farmington Avenue. For some reason the number, he has an Italian name and I am just so embarrassed that I can't remember him, but he has a studio where he basically teaches the power of 10. So I would encourage, he's Farmington Avenue here in West Hartford. I would encourage you to check that out. I have a feeling the number is somewhere around 844, but I'm not sure that's the correct number. I do know that it's Farmington Avenue before you get to West Hartford Center, coming from Hartford, and if you come from Hartford, it's on the left-hand side in a house. He does the Power of 10 thing. He talks about 30 minutes with him. Is a great workout and program. There was something very sincere about him. I liked him a lot when he came by. He had a gentle nature. I think he's an outstanding teacher. Also, yoga is very good. Yoga is good for the mind, and it's great for flexibility, which is one of the problems of aging. Most people who age can do all the forward things reasonably well, but they're not great at stretching and backwards kind of things. And yoga is very good at dealing with that. If any of you want private yoga teachers, I have the name of one who may be available, or several, and I can give you, you can certainly go on the web, go to Google and plug in the proverbial yoga teachers in West Hartford. There is an excellent yoga training center over by Bally's, and I believe the name is West Hartford Yoga. And that place is superb. Great feeling, great teaching, great teachers, great environment, and I just can't say enough good things about that. I know the owner, Barbara, and she is just a dedicated and excellent woman. But most people who are into yoga are. So you need the aerobic, you need the weight training, the resistance training. Yoga flexibility is a great idea. Now let's go through some of the things that I want to show you about exercise. Now I tore this out of, what is this from? I think it's from Health and Wellness. Here are weights that you put on your legs and wear them around. And then here is some kind of wheel that you put down on the floor and you hold on to it. And then here is some kind of a ball, and it's a Dynaflex power ball. With a push of the button, it automatically activates gyroscopic power ball. And they say it's equivalent to 35 pounds. I don't know how that can be, but it's called Dynaflex Powerball. The weights that you can put on your legs sell for $69, and they are body togs. On the back side is a wrist blood pressure cuff made by Panasonic, and I don't know how accurate that is. I have been recommending the Omron blood pressure cuffs. In France, they've literally carved out space in Paris for people to pick up bikes at one location and ride them to other locations. And this is from New York Times. The date on this was, it's July 16th, 2007. So bike riding is a great idea. When I was in college, I rode my bike. I went to the University of Michigan, and Michigan was cold and snowy back then, and I rode my bike every day except 3 days during the college year. So from September through May, there were only 3 days when I didn't ride my bike. Obviously, I got wet a number of times. But I can't imagine there wasn't more snow than just 3 days. But you see, I lived right on the main drag, so you can be assured that that area was cleared quickly because it was a main commercial street.